Hey, it's the Pigskin Prognosticator coming to you from PubClub.com world headquarters in San Diego, or from any great college football place in the country. This is a look at this week's games, first week of October. While Oktoberfest is going off in Munich and just about every city in North America too. The first weekend in October, boy, I tell you what, after last week's games, it almost seems like a weekend full of undercards. But we have some games here. The Pigskin Prognosticator will tell you what will happen and why it will happen. But first, let's look back at last week. The college football world is still buzzing from the Titanic tilt in Tuscaloosa, which, as I said earlier, makes this Friday and Saturday's games seem like a weekend full of undercards. But there was activity elsewhere. The M&Ms, Miami and Michigan, benefited from blown officials' calls. The Sooners came on later to make things more freezing cold on the plains. The Lane train missed its station in Oxford, and the floundering continued for Florida State. Now on to this week's games. All times of Pacific, because the prognosticator lives on the West Coast. Friday, October 4th, Michigan State at Oregon, 6 p.m. on Fox. Sparty needs a spark, but won't be getting much of a charge out of playing Friday night in Eugene. Short-circuited is more like it. The Waddlers will be able to waddle through this one pretty easily. Winner, Oregon. Saturday, October 5th, UCLA at Penn State, 9 a.m. on Fox. If there's one guarantee in this college football season, it's that the battered Bruin fans will not make much of an effort to wake up at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning to watch a team that's only beaten Hawaii by a field goal. Playing in Happy Valley will not make them happy, especially when they tune in around noon and see the score. The Baby Bears have, in the past, shown an incredible ability to bounce back up as if they're on a trampoline when they're down. But this year's squad seems just to stay flat. Winner, Penn State. Missouri at Texas A&M, 9 a.m. ABC. The feisty felines, who have been enjoying the friendly confines of Farrell Field, travel into the rowdy situation of State College, and that will have their cat hair standing up on their backs. With an early start, the notoriously loud soldiers might just soldier on from the midnight yell through to the game. If that team can feed off the energy to find some offense, then there will be a victory march by the host. Winner, Texas A&M. Iowa at Ohio State, 12:30 p.m. on CBS. After barely cracking a sweat the first few weeks of the season, the Nuts finally play a team with a pulse. Whether or not that team has an offense remains to be determined. The flightless birds might have a chance if the game were played in the cornfield, but it's in the shoe, and there's no glass shoe for this wannabe Cinderella. Winner, Ohio State. Auburn at Georgia, 12:30 p.m. on ABC. The fast-driving Fidos went speeding into Tuscaloosa and now must pump their brakes a bit on their postseason plans. Instead of zooming past opponents as if they were driving on a two-lane country highway, they have to focus on the road ahead of them. After finding an offense in the second half against Alabama, they are sure to keep their foot on the gas against the Gas Birds, who are learning what another Bo, Wallace in this case, warned about their coach. Winner, Georgia. Ole Miss at South Carolina, 12:30 p.m. ESPN. Joey Freshwater, who says he got his punter from a frat party, got a splash of reality tossed in his face, and now takes his circus on the road against the are they good or are they not team. The Roosters fly Kentucky and should have beaten the Bayou Bengals and are looking to make the Rebels yell ouch. But you know, they are South Carolina and they'll wind up short. Winner, Ole Miss. Alabama at Vanderbilt, 1:15 p.m. SEC Network. The coaching staff placed mouse traps around the Alabama facility on Monday, a new era version of Nick Saban's famous rat poison rat. So when the Pachyderms stomp into Music City on Sunday, they will attempt to avoid stepping on any traps put down by the doors, or not quite looking like doormats this year. They missed a game-ending field goal that could have beat Missouri and beat Virginia Tech. But they also lost to Georgia State and have yet to encounter anything like the dynamic duo of Miro and Williams. Winner, Alabama. Tennessee at Arkansas, 4:30 p.m. ABC. Rocky Top hosts. Rocky Top. Let me try that again. I think I've had a little too much Kettle One, where it's right there for all our. That's to celebrate or drown our sorrows, right? Rocky Top hosts to roast the pigs and enjoy some tasty barbecue. But while the hosts often seem to be in the pits under Pittman, this team isn't quite the easy catch they might seem to be on the surface. They have some fight in them, and this will not be a slaughter. Winner, Tennessee. Michigan at Washington, 4:30 p.m. NBC. Big Blue got a big break last week and set sail for Seattle with a bunch of Sailgators ready to ruin their party. The Dogs are salivating to get their paws into the score that beat them in last year's national championship game. They will succeed if they clean up their act, as penalties, missed field goals, and some really head-scratching coaching calls have cost them this year. Winner, Washington. USC at Minnesota, 4:30 p.m. BTN, Big Ten Network. Hard to say that, USC on the Big Ten Network. An October road trip to Minneapolis is not exactly one made for the Roses, but Troy is packing his Trojan horse for this new type of journey. They face a team that, were it not for a muffed onside kick by the refs, would have led to a victory against the very team that manhandled them on a similar road trip 2 weeks earlier. You follow what I'm saying. Consider the Warriors alerted. Winner, USC. And finally, Miami at Cal, 7:30 p.m. ESPN. The escape behind them, the storm is not over for the Canes. They might think that traveling to Berkeley will be a breeze, but the Polar Bears do play some D. And that'll have the U's offense spinning a few times. Winner, in an upset, Cal. That's this week's Pigskin Prognosticator picks. You can see the whole thing on PubClub.com in the written word. Cheers.